subscribe while you're at it.
I'd get scared.
Narluga skull. It baffled a hunter when he spotted 3 strange-looking whales off the coast of western Greenland in 1990. The mystery only deepened when he got his hands on one of the creature's skulls. At the time, DNA technology wasn't advanced enough to identify the creature with any certainty. Some experts speculated it was a deformed beluga. One researcher, Mads Peter Heider-Jorgensen, theorized that it was a hybrid between a whale and a beluga, or a narluga. But until then, such a combination had never happened. The skull spent several decades in storage at the Natural History Museum of Denmark. By the time curator Elin Lorenzen took a fresh look at it in 2015, DNA technology had come a long way.
Who's that?
This time around, scientists successfully extracted
What
the
is
sample.
that? A Sasquatch?
Heider-Jorgensen's prediction about the animal being a narluga turned out to be correct.
Gigantopithecus.
Mother and a beluga father.
What?
Gigantopithecus.
Combination of traits.
And what exactly is that?
Beluga-like teeth and a twisted leftward spiral.
It's like a big old Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, okay, Sasquatch.
It like the narwhal's characteristic horn, it's actually a long tooth. Scientists have written in 1993 that the creature's teeth were unlike that of any known species, but that they seemed fitted to both narwhals and belugas. The DNA findings confirmed the team was on the right track with their suspicions after all. Whale researcher Travis Park, who was not involved in any of the studies, described the skull as almost exactly what he imagined you'd get if you mixed a beluga and a narwhal together. He added genetics rarely work out so cleanly. The skull is the first solid evidence that narlugas are a real thing. Until the discovery, experts believed it was nearly impossible for belugas and narwhals to mate, despite being members of the same family. The two species diverged from a common ancestor around 5.5 million years ago, and their shared gene flow ended roughly 1.25 million years ago. Surprisingly, they interbred after so long. Isotope analysis of the animal's teeth shows it dove deeper than either of its parents in search of food. Researchers know almost nothing else about it, and nobody's seen one since. 4. 7 deer head. Visitors at Loyola Pond Beach near Chicago were shocked in 2015 when they found a decomposing 7 deer head on a snake. Someone had draped the morbid display with a red cloth featuring a strange image of a hand with 5 fingers, 2 thumbs, and a strange symbol painted on it. Local resident Steve Brown was taking his morning walk along Lake Michigan when he noticed the disturbing sight. He turned to social media for help to make sense of the strange exhibit. He wanted to know why someone painted it, and if there was significance in their decision to lie. The spiritual therapist, Elizabeth Ruiz, told the website DNA Info his head once symbolized a native warrior. She said someone may have put it there to repel bad and energy. Others explained that the use of the color red might represent fire or power. Regardless of its meaning, the decapitated deer's head wasn't on the beach for very long. A spokesperson for the Chicago Parks District told the press that the agency planned to remove the display. He said that nobody who worked there had ever seen anything like it before. The explanation behind the morbid symbol is still a mystery. 3. Rare deep-sea creature. Marine biologist Riley Allen was relaxing at Aramoana Beach on the New Zealand South Island recently when she noticed a man fussing around with something in the water. She approached him, and it shocked her to see that he was handling a monstrous fish, measuring nearly 12 feet, 3.7 meters long. Allen identified the serpent-like creature as an oarfish. This deep-dwelling species is incredibly rare, and humans seldom see it. In a tweet, Allen wrote that the creature was still alive but extremely weak. She explained a group had tried getting the oarfish back out into the ocean, but they were unsuccessful, and it soon became clear it was going to die. Speaking with Newsweek, Allen said that she regretted not taking the fish as a specimen for further study. She said she didn't know how it ended up so far from its typical habitat. It was over 650 feet, 200 meters below the water's surface. The creature that appeared at Aramoana Beach was small for an oarfish. As the world's longest bone fish species, they can grow as long as 56 feet, 17 meters, and weigh up to 600 pounds, 270 kilograms. 2. Alien-like creature. Drew Lambert was jogging along Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia recently when he came across something he'd never seen before. It was an alien-like creature he didn't recognize. so he snapped photos and took to social media to help to identify it. He wrote it was about 1.6 feet, 0.5 meters long, with shark-like skin and human-like lips. Speaking of storybook, Lambert said that based on the comments his post received, he believed the creature was a coffin ray, whose intestines had ballooned from decomposition. Sea Life Sydney Aquarium supervisor Letitia Hannon also identified the carcass as a bloated coffin ray. Also known as the Australian numbfish, the species commonly live in the shallow waters of the country's east and west coasts. Just weeks before Lambert's discovery, a man named Alex Tan encountered an animal that might be best described as extraterrestrial. He said it looked like a decapitated possum. When Tan's followers failed to come up with any promising leads regarding the animal's identity, commenters suggested asking Bindi and Robert Irwin for help. 1. A tiny boat. In late 2020, Minnesota resident Lynn Bebo and her husband found a tiny red, white and blue boat in a remote area on Fossil Islands National Lakeshore along the Lake Superior coast. There was a message along the bottom of the miniature vessel stating, "I am traveling in the ocean. Wait, look me back in the water," along with instructions to the public to send information on their whereabouts and school and the little boat was automatically released into the water back in 1993 and 1994 as part of a school project. Duluth Public Schools explained in a Facebook post that teachers Bonnie Bridge and Brenda Schnell released the boats into Lake Superior and Brighton Beach. Nobody can say for sure where the boat that reappeared was throughout its 27 years of adventure on the lake. Those who found it put a coat of varnish on it and set it back out on the water. Based on how protected the area they found the boat in is from the elements, the boat suspects it sat for years before she and her husband found it. She told CNN that finding the boat gave her a new appreciation for the unknown and a sense of wonder. For those words, you just never know what you're going to find, so get out there and explore, because there's stuff to be found. Thanks for watching. Have you ever found anything crazy on the beach? Tell us about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.
Save on your most life-changing sleep with up to $800 off mattresses at Casper.
Number 8. A World War II plane underwater. Something at first a series of fighter planes made famous during World War II, when you realize how many of the U.S. Air Force's P-47 airplanes their enemies shot down, or how many went missing, you might think so. When an underwater recovery team working aboard a French Navy vessel located the wreckage of an aircraft off the coast of Corsica in 2018, they knew they would have an enormous job ahead of them to bring the plane up from the ocean floor. But when they went in for a closer look, they realized the aircraft